In the meantime, the Trump administration welcomed a group of 59 white South Africans as refugees, prompting some serious blowback.
When you run away, you're a coward. And that's a real cowardly act.
It is clear they've decided to disrupt our democracy. They are planning something big against us.
Welcome to Heads Up SA, where we unpack power, politics, and real stories behind the headlines, South African style. In an unexpected move, US President Donald Trump, now back in office, has officially invited South African President Cyril Ramaphosa to the White House. Why? To account for what Trump claims is a campaign of Afrikaners farmers being unalived in South Africa. A claim rooted in a conspiracy theory that's been floating in certain corners of the internet for years. But here's the thing, there's no evidence of coordinated attack against white farmers. And the media, Trump says they are covering it up. Really?
But it's a genocide that's taking place that you people don't want to write about. And the newspapers and the media, television media doesn't even talk about it. If it were the other way around, they'd talk about it. That would be the only story they'd talk about. And
in both the US and South Africa, media houses don't agree on much. CNN goes after Trump, Fox defends him. Here at home, our media is split along political lines too. The idea that every outlet is ignoring this so-called crisis makes no sense. Something is off. When Trump slashed US aid funding to South Africa not long ago, President Ramaphosa didn't back down. His response?
The president last night issuing a strong response to the United States President Donald Trump, insisting
we will not be deterred. We are, as South Africans, a resilient people, and we will not be bullied.
A bold statement that rings even louder now. What's at stake here isn't just reputation, it's South Africa's sovereignty and its right to pursue transformation without foreign interference. Now enter Elon Musk, the world's richest man and former South African citizen. Remember when he tried to bring his company, the Starlink, his global satellite internet system to Mzansi? All he had to do was follow the rules. To operate in South Africa, companies must comply with Black economic empowerment legislation, which includes at least 30% local ownership by historically disadvantaged groups. Elon said no thanks and bailed. But he didn't just walk away. He's since used his platform X to fuel disinformation, amplify false claims about white South Africans being systematically unalived.
Welcome back. The AI chatbot Grok, created by Elon Musk's AI, has been responding to queries with unrelated information about violence against white people in South Africa. An NBC News review of Grok's X account since Tuesday showed more than 20 examples of such responses, in which Grok mixed in comments about violence in South Africa to answers not related to the topic.
And indirectly stirred tension between nations. Why? Because he couldn't get his way. Let's not forget, Musk doesn't even hold a South African citizenship anymore. And if you caught his father on Podcast and Chill with Meg G, you'll know that the Musk family came to South Africa during apartheid and benefited from it. So here's the question. Is Elon Musk just a frustrated billionaire? Or a man who never truly accepted the end of apartheid? Back to Trump.
white farmers are being brutally killed and their land is being confiscated in South Africa. People don't want to write about, but it's a terrible thing that's taking place, and farmers are being killed. They happen to be white.
That's not neutrality. That's racialized politics. And it's clear Trump is choosing to back a false narrative. But why? Here is what insiders suggest. South Africa has lithium, a key mineral in the electric vehicle market. Elon Musk needs it for Tesla. Trump wants it to maintain power in both old and new energy industries. Could this sudden interest in South African affairs be more about minerals and money than actual concern? South African political leaders aren't sitting back. The EFF called out Trump's invitation as an attempt to undermine South Africa's independence and transformation agenda. And on Face the Nation, Solly Mapaila from the SACP didn't hold back. He believes there's a bigger plot at play here.
Africa, it is clear they've decided to disrupt our democracy. They are planning something big against us. And
that people like Musk are whispering into Trump's ear, pushing for policies that would strip South Africa of its natural resources, especially lithium. According to Mapaila, the US doesn't want partners, it wants puppets.
You've got to transact with something. So what should they be willing to transact with, and what should they not be willing to transact with?
Well, of course, we can't send them to go and transact on our behalf. Certainly, we shouldn't be transactional in our diplomacy, because you can never be independent. I mean, the U.S. is a big economy. So if you go on a transactional ideas, you are not at the same level. They run at a 36 trillion US dollar deficit budget. So that's 15 times more than the GDP of the African continent. So there's nothing you can go there and think you can transact with them. So the idea of bringing back the international rule book, it's important to assert our authority when we talk with them, but it will be meaningless to Trump. The man signed 206 decrees, 6 hours into office. So turning back every other thing without even consulting Congress. This we never thought it's possible. But he has made it clear that it is possible. It is within his powers as the president of the U.S. He has so-called unlimited powers. We had thought these are unlimited powers within the confines of the U.S., but now he's showing the world that no one can stop him. For instance, the fellows around him, like this South African boy, Elon Musk, richest boy in the world, or richest man in the world, so to speak, they're the ones that, for instance, want certain things here. Our lithium, for instance, they're after that because we've got some of the best lithium deposits in the country. Our belt into Zimbabwe is one of the biggest in the world, and it's an important element in the production of electronic vehicles, for instance, and other electronic gadgets. And given the way the world is going, this is very important for them. And of course, we also have huge deposit of coal, and Trump is following both the new economies and the old economies. So there is something that they can transact about, but it's not our idea that they should go there to transact with Trump.
And the U.S. government has said, in fact, Trump himself said he's interested in a minerals deal of sorts on the African continent. And I wonder if that's going to come up in this meeting.
For many of us, American politics isn't just distant noise, it's a reference point. We've watched how US culture shapes ours, from music to media, even politics. That's why we care when we see their democracy falter. Back in 2016, Trump spoke to the working class. He stood up to the elites, challenged the system, and many people even outside America respected the energy. But now, he's pushing lies, backing billionaires who refuse to follow our laws, and weaponizing race and disinformation to protect private interests. That's not leadership, but manipulation. Thanks for tuning in to Heads Up SA, where we speak truth to power. If this video got you thinking, drop a comment below, like and subscribe to stay updated in the stories that shape our nation and our future. Don't fall for the lies. Stand up for South Africa. This is Heads Up SA, and we are one.
Well, when the president decide to visit the U.S., he will invite President Trump to come here so that he can see our beautiful country, see that there is no genocide here. We are beautiful, happy people, black and white, working, living together. So I hope he will accept the invitation to come, because I think he's being lied to. There is no genocide.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.